Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm not here with Geeky Sparkles. I'm going to talk about Doctor Who. She doesn't care about Doctor Who. So I'm going to talk about Doctor Who because even the mainstream media is realizing that it is over for Doctor Who. Like, this show is no longer relevant. Nobody is watching Doctor Who. Even episodes that are quote unquote good, nobody's watching it. They've checked out. And in fact, this video probably won't get a lot of views. It just doesn't. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about Doctor Who. Doctor Who cares. So we're going to talk about this change in the media, because before they were like, Doctor Who's great, guys. It's just the bigots and the misogynists. And this is the same delayed reaction that the media had to the decline in Marvel and the decline in Star Wars. They fight for it because they think it's strictly a political thing, right? Like, it's all the alt-right Nazis want it to fail, but if we talk positively about it, it'll magically come back to life. And that is not happening here. The show is dead. So let's talk about just how dead Doctor Who is. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Cosmic Book News has been on top of it. One of the few outlets that actually cares to objectively report about Doctor Who. But I guess it's overnight ratings for the second episode of this season were 1.58 million viewers. That's the lowest I think Doctor Who has ever gone. Okay. That's insane. Wow. So yeah, Matt McGloin has it. Doctor Who continues to break records for the worst ratings in 60-year history as the second episode of season 2, which aired Saturday, set another all-time low. After the premiere's 2 million viewers beat the previous low record, episode 2 dropped further, 1.5 million viewers. And I knew this was going to happen because the first episode and the last episode of any season of Doctor Who or New Who tends to skew higher, right? People want to see the finale. They want to see the beginning, see if it got any better. And it didn't get any better, guys. This is the episode that had incels from space, or the planet of the incels, or whatever the hell. That, like, not a good idea. Wow, this is insane. So yeah, this was just a couple of days ago, and now let's go out to the Metro. The Metro, left-leaning free paper. I guess it's a free paper in the UK. Doctor Who's greatest episode in years proves it's broken beyond repair. Since 2005, I've traveled with the Time Lord to alien worlds in the distant past, meeting incredible people, and watched him wonder as they did the impossible. So it's with a heavy heart. I've only got the one that I admit that I think the show's broken, and sadly, I can't see how even regeneration can fix what's wrong. Look at the abysmal ratings for Doctor Who's latest episode, Lux. And that one actually kind of looked interesting because it had the animated character. I was cautiously, I guess I was curious. I wasn't cautiously optimistic, but I was curious about that one. I was actually thinking, well, maybe I'll watch this one because it's an interesting premise, but yeah, nobody watched it. A paltry, in TV terms, 1.58 million viewers tuned in to watch the Doctor battle the new villain, Mr. Ring-a-Ding, Alan Cumming, which is pretty cool, Nightcrawler, on Saturday night, despite the episode receiving rave reviews from critics. Audience doesn't care. Now it's worth saying those viewing figures don't paint the full picture, as they don't include those watching on iPlayer. Still, it's clear we're light years away from the show's heyday when it attracted millions of viewers every Saturday. Golly gee willikers, do you think you've chased the audience off over the course of the last 4 or 5 years? So if an episode hailed by some as the best in years can't get bums on seats, we have to ask ourselves, what's wrong with the BBC's former golden child? How much time do you have? There are years of YouTubers, of videos, documenting exactly what is wrong with Doctor Who. But now at the very end, now you're like, what? Maybe Doctor Who's broken. I'm like, you could have course corrected 5 years ago and you didn't do it. I wish I were the diagnosing physician. I'd say there were two main issues. Firstly, let's address the Jadoon in the room. The show isn't as good as it was. Oh my God, I can't believe they're saying this. I know I just wrote that Lux is one of the best episodes in years, but the emphasis should be on the latter part, in years. Ever since Capaldi's Doctor popped his clogs, the show struggled with weak stories and poor payoffs that have let down brilliant actors. Oh my God, the YouTube chuds were right. For the most part, Jodie Whittaker's series was defined by poor characterization, boring villains, and attempts to fix plot holes nobody cared about. Yeah, and the retcon. The retcon. Why are you not mentioning the retcon? The retcon broke Doctor Who for a lot of people, making the Doctor whatever the hell the Doctor is now and not an actual Time Lord. Oh, and plus, the Doctor started out as a brown little girl, just so you know. Chuds, you racists, just so you know, you misogynists. The Doctor was a brown little girl and not a Time Lord. For the most part, it was Ncudi's tenure has been marred by convoluted stories about space gods, weak resolutions, and genuinely terrible episodes like the Space Babies episode. I lay a lot of the blame for the general antipathy toward Ncudi's run at the feet of whoever thought making Space Babies the first episode was a good idea. Russell T. Davies, who brought it back and killed it. He brought it back just to put it down. Everything about it was a misfire. There have been bad episodes and great series before. Love and Monsters, 42, and Sleep No More. Yeah, Love and Monsters was pretty bad. They've never been the first episode in the season. Yeah, they felt like filler. They'd kind of put them, in there somewhere. Honestly, in an era when first impressions matter, I can't believe it was allowed to run. It's not just Space Babies. It's the whole fucking thing. Just say it. The show sucks. It sucked for the most part, probably since halfway through Capaldi's run. Now, I watched all of Capaldi's run every week. I watched it because I loved Peter Capaldi as the Doctor, but I could see the decline, right? I could see the decline. It was very obvious. But when he was on, man, he was on. It was worth watching the episodes. For me, it was worth watching a bad episode of Doctor Who just to see Peter Capaldi give one of his monologues, because he was so good at it. I think showrunner Russell T. Davies isn't sure who he wants the show to appeal to anymore. Oh my God, not kids, not families. Every other day, it feels like there's a new casting announcement for a celebrity lined up to cameo, but who are these announcements for? TikTok, basically. Are kids today excited by the news that Rylan is appearing in an upcoming episode? Does Graham Norton have big Gen Alpha appeal? No. Kids don't watch Doctor Who anymore. You've chased off the families. I don't know, but the whole thing stinks of that Steve Buscemi, how do you do, fellow kids meme. Holy shit. So if it's not for new viewers, who's it for? I don't know many people who are excited to see Rylan turn up in an episode, but I know if I told people the Daleks are coming back, at least they'd know what I'm talking about. It all feels scattershot and lacks the confidence other seasons had. Unfortunately, it's the second reason, though, that may prove terminal for the good Doctor. You see, we live in an attention-based economy these days. People are fighting for eyeballs and attention. The BBC hasn't done a great job of generating buzz around the new season. No, they have. They have, but it's all negative. It's all negative. Go touch grass. We don't want the racists and the misogynists watching our show. Oh, you got a problem with drag queens in Doctor Who? Well, that's a you problem. Get out of here, chuds. Yeah, you basically told the normie families to get the hell out of here. You have a problem with the Doctor being a woman now, even though the Doctor's never been a woman in decades-long history? You have a problem with the retcon? This isn't your Doctor Who. Get out of here. And we've actually had people associated with the show be like, well, I guess it's just not for you anymore. And guess what? When you tell people to leave, they leave. Again, we are living in an attention-based economy, and there's so many other things out there that people could be doing or watching or experiencing. You tell them to leave. You don't give them a good reason to stay. They're going to leave. Again, Shuigawa, go touch grass, bigots. That is basically what he said. And you know what? Everybody went outside and they touched grass and they never came back. That's a you problem. That is a you problem. You had a chance to keep him there. Russell T. Davies is out there making comments too. Apparently he's out there attacking Nerdrotic. He's out there attacking Gary with the RIP Doctor Who hashtag. But the truth is, you killed Doctor Who, right? I mean, it's a curse of fatal death. It's over. Doctor Who is officially over. Now, that's not for one of trying to see the aforementioned cameo announcement, but there's definite lack of excitement around the show. Yes! Oh, they're blaming everything, but the showrunners are blaming everything, but oh my God. It's because it's being dumped on iPlayer on Saturday mornings. Other shows don't do this. You don't see White Lotus streaming hours before the episode debut. No, because people watch that one. Worst rated Doctor Who episodes according to IMDb. Space Babies, 5.7. Can you hear me? Do they have Love and Monsters? No, Love and Monsters isn't on this one. That was actually, I think that was the worst one. I watch TV for a living, and I'm guilty of this because he's watching on streaming, I guess. Maybe I'm being overly dramatic. Perhaps iPlayer figures will dazzle doubters like me. No, dude, it's over. Doctor Who is over. Why won't you admit? You won't admit it, Tom Percival. You won't admit it because you don't want the YouTube chuds to be right. But we were right. We've been right for years. The show is done. It's dead. Jodie Whittaker was the kill shot, I think, for it. And then there's a little bit of interest in David Tennant coming back. And then they brought his doctor back just to drag him on pronoun usage, which didn't go well with a lot of people. Like, look, the show looks good. I mean, Disney obviously spent the bucks on this. It's the best the show's looked in years. The Jodie Whittaker era looked very, very cheap. But it's over. Like, there's no saving the show. And I think you would have to reboot the whole thing at this point, or just ignore the last couple of years or something. And I know Russell T Davies knows it's over. I mean, he's making comments to the effect that he knows it's over, but it's over. It's over. It's done. It's over. When the mainstream media is even like, yeah, the show kind of sucks and the ratings are the worst they've ever been, you know it's over. So I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.